Hey everyone, and welcome back to another eShop sale feature video. And today we'll be taking a look at PID, a game that just launched on the Nintendo Switch eShop and is already receiving a major launch discount. Now, this game is a 2D puzzle platformer that has a really great art style and some really fun and original gameplay mechanics. And although this game has a regular sales price of $20, it is currently 90% off, dropping it to only $1.99 in the US, and that will be running till December 9th. But even more good news, this 90% discount is pretty much present throughout all regions, including the UK, Europe, and Australia. And on top of it, in those other regions, it'll pretty much be running till December 19th. Now, just before we get into the details of the game, I do want to give a huge thanks to Red Deer Games that provided me with an early release code for the game and are also sponsoring today's video. And don't forget, if you're liking the video, one of the best ways to help support the channel, hit that like button. Now, the gameplay setup here is a slightly odd yet simple and fun one. You are a child astronaut, and on your way to school, you fall asleep on the bus, and unfortunately, you wake up on an alien and unknown planet. Now, it's up to you to make your way across the different areas and find your way off of this alien world. Now, atmospherically, this game really delivers on a great experience, and I would almost compare it to something similar to what you would get from a game like Limbo, although arcing more on the odd and weird than on the scary and creepy. You will also get a little bit of backstory throughout your adventure by meeting some random characters throughout the different levels. And they will give you tidbits of what this world is all about that makes you feel like a tiny person in a world of giants. This game, as I said earlier, truly delivered a great experience. Now, if we talk about the gameplay, once again, we have a very solid and interesting offering, where the game really, as I pointed to earlier, plays out as a 2D puzzle platformer, not focusing on any real type of combat. In the moments that you will be able to defeat enemies, it will be rather through manipulation of the environments and using traps against them than actual fighting them. But the main obstacle in this game isn't enemies themselves, it is rather the environment. And as I pointed to earlier, it'll be up to you to puzzle your way through the different levels. And the main mechanic that you'll be using for solving most of these puzzles are the gems that you can drop. Now, dropping a gem creates a path that negates gravity and pushes you upwards. Now, after a set period of time or till you hit the ZL trigger, these fields will disappear and reset to be launched again. Now, although this concept seems simple on the surface, it can actually be used and manipulated in a lot of different ways. Dropping it against a wall will rather have you float horizontally, dropping it against the ground will send you vertically. You can also use these to drop them on certain spike traps to make yourself float above them. Other puzzles will require you to combine the use of the two gems in original ways to make your way across obstacles. And even certain enemies can be eliminated with these gems, or you can manipulate gravity into sending your enemies into these spiked traps or sections. Now, I've got to say, I really enjoyed this mechanic throughout the gameplay, and it really forced me in certain situations to think outside the box to find a solution. Now, you'll also be able to pick up other items along the way to help you along, such as bombs, armor, and more. Sometimes you'll just be able to find these throughout the levels, other times you'll have to purchase them at special stations if you have enough stars. Now, difficulty-wise, I would say that this game does eventually offer a fair level of difficulty and will really push those puzzle-solving skills. However, another interesting point is that there's often more than one solution to each problem, therefore it'll really, as I said earlier, allow some out-of-the-box thinking. And it also offers a really nice progression, throwing new gameplay elements in on a regular basis to keep things feeling fresh and new, such as zones where your gems won't work, enemies that can't be destroyed, and so forth. Now, if we move over to the visuals and sound of the game, I think this is really one of its strongest features. I mean, visually, this game created a great world that reminded me of certain atmospheric games, as I pointed to earlier, like Limbo or Inside. However, nonetheless, delivering its own kind of vibe. And I think that one of the main contributing factors to creating that different type of vibe was also the soundtrack, that rather than featuring ominous and scary soundtracks, really featured a calming and even sometimes uplifting soundtrack. So for me, on the visual and sound side, this game was a definite success. That was pretty much my thoughts on PID. Now, since this is a feature video and not a review, there won't be an official score. But what I can say is as long as the sales prices are good, this game will become a regular feature on eShop deals because it is a great experience and is a total steal in my opinion right now at only $2. And also on the way out, don't forget that if you did like the content, hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you aren't already, and click on that notification bell so you know when all my future content comes out. And as usual, I'll see you in my next video.